What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so according to reports, NBA investors, are growing impatient as the WNBA is set to lose $40 million this season. The WNBA has made a lot of progress in recent years, but it's still a long way off from being profitable. The most recent projections have the WNBA losing $40 million this season. And according to reports, investors are getting concerned. From Brian Lewis of the New York Post, quote, "This season, the WNBA will lose $40 million, which is a bit better than the $50 million loss that was forecasted and reported by several media outlets months ago, but it's still a loss. Some NBA owners want more transparency from NBA Commissioner Adam Silver about when they will get to see some return from the suddenly popular WNBA. New York Knicks owner James Dolan, in particular, has been pushing Silver behind the scenes. NBA owners have invested hundreds of millions into the WNBA since its founding in 1996, and the league has gone to great lengths to promote the women's game. Beginning in 2026, the WNBA will be getting up to $2.2 billion over 11 years to fund operations, pay the players, and promote the product. So I'm assuming that the WNBA players will be getting a nice raise. But in every year of its existence, the WNBA has lost money, and it's on track to stay that way for several more years to come. With expenses high and the revenue so low, it's going to be hard for even the best of teams to break even. Look, that's to be expected. You know, when you're trying to turn around a league, one player or two players are not going to turn around an entire league as far as profit is concerned. That's just the facts. You know what I'm saying? What you got to look at to me is you got to look at trends. And the trend is, look, they were forecast to lose 50 million. It was 40 million. So I think the trend is going to be, for right now, a decrease in losses. Instead of 50 million, it was 40 million. Maybe next year, if the WNBA and BSPN and Fake Sports, if they promote this game the way it should be, and also, I think, well, let me make my point. If they promote the game the way they should, then you're going to start seeing a gradual reduction in losses to the point where they start breaking even. And then maybe, I would say, outside of 5 years from now, I don't know, then finally it might start having a profit as far as the owners and just investors in general. Another thing that they have to start doing is people like to make comparisons to, I saw Stephen A. Smith said, well, look, people didn't complain when Michael Jordan was getting all of this praise. Well, Michael Jordan was not the only star in the NBA in the 1980s and 90s. He wasn't the only household name. That's what irritates me when I keep hearing Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. Smith saying this crap. It wasn't like it was Michael Jordan and that people didn't know who Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was, or who Magic Johnson was, or who Larry Bird was. And that's what casuals, okay? Casuals even know who Isaiah Thomas was. Hoop heads, they knew everybody else. The NBA fan base was growing. Those who were actually paying attention to the game. So they knew who Adrian Dantley and Alex English and Bill Laimbeer and, Terry Cummings and David Robinson and Charles Barkley. And I mean, let's go James Worthy, Dennis Johnson. They promoted the game right to me because, yes, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird got more shine, but they talked about other players. They talked about so this strategy that Stephen A. Smith have and Shannon Sharp, where they kind of want to just talk about one person, which is Caitlin Clark. As hard as it is to believe for Caitlin Clark fans, it can get annoying. They think about it. They try to do the same thing with LeBron, and it's very annoying if you're not a LeBron James fan. And it is working. As far as when I say it is working, the sports outlets talking about the WNBA more as a product. Yes, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are bringing in some fans. They are. Because guys like me who didn't really appreciate the WNBA for many years, even if we're not watching all the games, we're paying more attention to it. And we all know the playoffs is when a lot of people start paying more and more attention to the WNBA. And it's not just Caitlin Clark that people are watching. You know, I hate this narrative where it's just Caitlin Clark and, you know, outside that nobody paying attention, because that's not true. Look, this WNBA finals right now that's going on between the Liberty and I believe the Lynx. Let me make sure I get this. Here we go. Game 1 of the 2024 WNBA Finals between the New York Liberty and Minnesota Lynx broke the record for most viewers since the 1998 Finals, with an average viewership of well over 1 million people. That don't sound like much, but that's the most that a WNBA Finals game has gotten since that time, 26 years. So the campaign, the promotion of the WNBA is beginning to work. It's working. So I think that, you know, in my opinion, the investors have to be patient. It's going to work. Look, I'm going to say something that a lot of people may be surprised to hear me say. Although sometimes Caitlin Clark fans get on my goddamn nerves, the Caitlin Clark promotion does seem to be working a little bit. Okay? I just get annoyed when it goes overboard. I just think sometimes some of these dudes like Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp go overboard. And then they try to, you know, make it an antagonistic relationship between Reese fans and Clark fans. But then, you know, sometimes the fan base feed into that. Instead of keeping it about basketball, they make it about other things. And I suspect that some of these Caitlin Clark fans, not all, but some, are not even really WNBA fans. Because if they were, then the ratings would be 3 times bigger than what they were or what they are. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I think they got to be patient. I think that these investors, these owners have to be patient, and their investments will pay off eventually. I think they also need to start calling out, or we need to start calling out, the fan base that are supposed to be watching the product, and that is women. Because I still don't see a lot of women talking about the WNBA. It's men. I'm not saying no women watch it, but it's really men. When you look at the media, yeah, you have a Monica McNutt. Yeah, you have Molly Curran. Yeah, you have a lot of these former WNBA players talking, but girly girls, you know what I mean? Girly girls, right? They don't watch the WNBA, but they have all these demands about men need to start watching it. You don't watch it. And it's a travesty that Asia Wilson is not promoted enough. Look, it took me months to pronounce her name properly. She set a record, I think, for points and points per game for a WNBA player this year. She is by far the best WNBA player in the league. I'm sorry, Caitlin Clark fans. There's some who keep trying to make this case as Caitlin Clark. Right now is Asia Wilson. And look, interest in the league is growing. It is. And I think they need to continue with the promotion at the level that they have. But I think that as we go into next year, Fake Sports and BSPN, they got to start talking about some of these other players. And don't forget, there are other stars coming into the league. Juju, Watson? She's coming into the league soon. A lot of these other young stars that are playing right now need to be promoted. Brianna Wilson, I think, is one of them, right? They need to be promoted more. These people need to start becoming at least semi-household names. But all in all, even though the WNBA is taking a loss, I still think that things are heading in the right direction. Kudos to Caitlin Clark. It's not her. It's just some of her stupid-ass fan base is part of the problem. Salute to Angel Reese. At the end of the day, people may not like her game, but her game reminds me of the old school ball. You know what I'm saying? No, she's not a glamorous player. She's not the most aesthetic basketball player as far as her game to watch. But she's a cutie. She got the booty. And she's a great rebounder. I noticed Andre Drummond recently said that he purposely missed shots strategically. I've said the same thing I said the same thing about Moses Malone. Moses Malone did the same thing at times. Sometimes he threw up shots to get, actually he would throw up a bad shot intentionally to get in better position as far as offensively. He would throw up a bad shot, get in position, box out, get the rebound, and get in position for a better shot. It was strategy. That's why I don't get mad. I didn't do a video about Andre Drummond saying that because I knew why he said what he said. At least that's what I hope that's what he was doing, because Moses Malone did that. And, I'm not going to get on Andre Drummond for saying that too, because nobody says anything about people like LeBron James and Luka Doncic just standing around not playing defense and just waiting to get a defensive board. Nobody calls that shit out. But you want me to get on Andre Drummond or Angel Reese for doing what they doing? Nah, not going to do it. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it.